There are reports of serious outflow of assets from the Crypto.com exchange. A lot of people are withdrawing their assets from the Crypto.com exchange, and this is pretty much because of the increasing fraud. So this is why there is so much panic. In the past, the FTX exchange and the Crypto.com exchange had some business transactions worth about $1 billion. Prior to the collapse of the FTX exchange, and a lot of people are now insinuating that if this kind of huge amount of money was sent to the FTX exchange and it collapsed the way it did, then the Crypto.com exchange must be in trouble, and this is why people are actually panicking. Okay, but the CEO of the Crypto.com exchange, in fact a co-founder of the platform, actually responded to this question, and part of what he said was that the Crypto.com exchange has a strong balance sheet. Of course, he acknowledged the business transaction they had with the FTX exchange, but he's reiterating and making it very clear that they are not losing more than $10 million out of a possible $1 billion transaction they did, which means they recovered over $990 million from the FTX exchange before the collapse. And this is pretty interesting to know, following the panic we are really talking about. Okay, so this is a very quick and direct response to the panic, which is really in my opinion going to reduce the fraud and begin to make people gain trust on the platform. Of course, when I say gaining trust on the platform, I don't mean necessarily leaving your money on centralized exchanges. The best thing to do would be to save your assets in hardware wallet, except you are a day trader. Of course, it becomes a necessary evil, something that you just have to do. If you trade, then your money has to somehow be on these platforms. Okay, so that's the risk you have to take. If you are not a trader, make sure your money is not in any exchange. Of course, not financial advice, but of course we can learn from situations like the one we have on our hands, the FTX exchange. Okay, so remember the saying, if it is not your private keys, it is not your crypto. If it is not your private keys, you could rephrase it as this: it is not your money. Okay, because your crypto is your money. Okay, it's our responsibility to make sure that our money is safe. Okay, so that's one question that has been clearly addressed by the CEO of the Crypto.com exchange. In my opinion, I think the Crypto.com exchange is no FTX exchange. Of course, there are different business organizations with different aims, visions, and goals. Of course, I believe the Crypto.com is here to stay. Of course, it's gonna be here for a very long time if things are not mismanaged. So another important question a lot of people are asking, which is actually heightening the fraud, is why Crypto.com mistakenly or accidentally sent over $400 million in crypto to the Gate.io exchange. Okay, they sent over 80% of their Ethereum holding to the Gate.io exchange, which is worth over $400 million. So addressing this question, he explained that all the addresses for the transfer of these scales are whitelisted and approved. He also said that the destination address was Crypto.com's corporate account at Gate.io, and that the funds were returned after Gate.io raised the corporate account's daily transfer limit. Okay, so this was a mistake on their part. I don't think this is a mistake that should be downplayed. What if they had mistakenly sent this money to the FTX exchange and then the FTX exchange collapsed? Okay, it would have been a different story right now. Okay, so but I think exchanges should be more careful not to make this kind of mistakes, because it could wreck lives, okay, and not just lives, the crypto market could go to zero if more bigger exchanges make this kind of mistakes and allow hacking operations to be carried out successfully on their platforms. So those were some of the boiling questions, but one more question: what has CZ to say in all of this? Is there anything Binance is saying or doing with regards to what is unfolding? Of course, there have been a few tweets from CZ. Of course, we can see right here where it says to reduce the further cascading negative effects of the FTX, Binance is forming an industry recovery fund to help projects who are otherwise strong but in a liquidity crisis. Okay, so more details to come soon. Of course, this is pretty clear. This is kind of a way to help exchanges that are in financial crisis, that have liquidity issues. So instead of folding up the way we are experiencing it now, as in the case of the FTX exchange, they would probably seek help from this kind of institution that CZ is talking about here. Of course, there are some of that tweets, or there are a lot of tweets here, but here, well, this tweet was on November 13. You guys tell me what you think. It says, if an exchange have to move large amounts of crypto before or after they demonstrate their wallet addresses, is a clear sign of problems. Stay safe, right? What do you think CZ is talking about here? Do you think he's indirectly talking about the Crypto.com mistake, or is just a harmless statement to warn people to avoid making mistakes? So what do you guys think? So these are the situations as they are unfolding. We cover everything crypto on this channel. We talk about money, how to make money. So this is the right place. If you got value, if you got entertained, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell. It's your guy Ken, and this is Big LBs.